Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. When the 12-year-old narrator of Our Twisted Hero, oh, hold on a second. Well, I'll just go on with this. Moves from Seoul to a small provincial town and enrolls in the local school. He's confident that his big city sophistication will establish him as a natural leader. But he immediately falls victim to a charismatic and corrupt class monitor who uses fear and violence to keep the other students under his mysterious spell and to assure his own supremacy in the school's social hierarchy. The teacher, grateful to have such a well-behaved class, turns a blind eye to the monitor's abuse of power. As the narrator attempts first to seek justice and then to inspire his fellow students to revolt, he finds himself in a fierce battle not just for his rights, but for his soul. Soon he has set in motion an unexpected and unstoppable chain of events. That's a little bit of an exaggeration there. Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. Now what did I do with it? Oh, God. Oh, here it is. As usual, we're all a mess here. The story is a study in bullying. One young man's attempts to cope with being thrust into a classroom situation under the domination of a very effective bully. And it reminded me nothing so much as of the story about Vladimir Putin and that Super Bowl ring, which he wound up having possession of. I wanted to read that to you as well. Patriots owner tells Putin to give him back his ring. This is from WWLP. I'll put a link to it in the description box. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft called out Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday, telling the leader to give him his fucking ring back in reference to a long-running allegation that Putin stole one of his Super Bowl rings during a 2005 meeting. The remark came during Sunday night's roast of former Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, who was the center of jokes from former Patriots coach Bill Belichick, comedian Kevin Hart, and past Patriots teammates during the event, which was broadcast live on Netflix. With the mic in hand, Kraft poked fun at his former star quarterback, but also spoke directly to Putin, telling the camera, "In case Vladimir Putin, you're watching, ... give me my fucking ring back, will you?" The controversy over the ring was brought back into the spotlight in March after the release of Apple TV's Dynasty series, based on Jeff Benedict's hit book about the rise of the New England Patriots. In the 2020 book, Benedict wrote about how Kraft, in 2007, accepted an invitation from banker Sanford Weill to travel to Russia with Rupert Murdoch and a group of high-profile CEOs to meet with Putin and stimulate commerce between the U.S. and Russia. The meeting took place in the summer of 2005, months after the Patriots won Super Bowl, I don't know what it is, 39 maybe? Afterward, as the American business leaders posed for a group photo with Putin, Weil encouraged Kraft to show his Super Bowl ring to the Russian leader. Kraft relieved it from his pocket and handed it to Putin. Benedict wrote in The Dynasty. Putin admired the ring's size and its 124 diamonds. "I could kill somebody with this ring," he said, as he slipped it on his finger and made a fist. Kraft allegedly told Putin he could kill someone without it, since he was the head of the KGB, Benedict wrote. As Putin removed the ring, Kraft put out his hand, but Putin slipped the ring into his own pocket, Benedict wrote. Perplexed, Kraft looked at Weil, who subtly shook his head from side to side, signaling Kraft not to say anything. But Putin was stealing his ring. Kraft couldn't believe it. Days after the meeting, reports over the controversy circulated, and the Russian government maintained the ring was a gift, per the book. Kraft later received a call from the then President George W. Bush's White House, which suggested it would be in the country's best interest if Kraft put an end to the controversy by stating publicly that he had intended the ring to be a gift, according to the book. Kraft eventually honored the Bush administration's request and released a statement that he gave Putin the ring as a symbol of the respect and that looks like a typo. As a symbol of the respect and administration for the Russian people and Putin. Kraft has won a total of 6 Patriot Bowl rings with the Patriots and so forth. That story has always stuck in my memory of Putin bamboozling or strong-arming this guy out of his ring. I mean, I don't really care about the ring. I don't even know why such things are such a big deal, but this story describes exactly that kind of bullying, but at a 5th grade level. And so it is a real good vehicle for meditating upon just bullying and its consequences, such as we are now being forced to experience in the United States. The foil in this story, I guess, not the hero who is the narrator, perpetrates exactly that type of bullying which Putin did and presumably still does. Now, because he made that statement according to the Bush administration's wishes, if you go to Snopes, it says the story is unverified, but I have no reason to doubt the story in itself. That strikes me as the type of man that Putin would be, especially with that kind of sort of small mind coveting. But I can't say that there is a particularly happy end, but the story throws into stark relief the opposing viewpoints upon the world, or the ways in which the world is or might be set up. That of might makes right, which is a popular slogan, and the opposite slogan, which was the one treasured by President Lincoln, which is that right makes might. He insisted upon that over and over again. And loosely speaking, that was somewhat the ideal behind our democratic system, at least in the wake of the Civil War, up until this past weekend, when the current administration or regime of Donald Trump decided to revoke the Constitution effectively by ignoring the judicial branch. Already the legislative branch has folded under bullying. And so we are moving into a society based upon a hierarchy of bullying. And this is the type of society that a good number of Americans voted into being and gave their imprimatur to. So it is a sort of tough situation. I would much rather live within a social order where bullying was frowned upon rather than applauded. But until this vast number of my countrymen decides to change their outlook on things, so it is. I really admire Yi Munyol's books. Last year I read Meeting with My Brother, just a gorgeous edition as well. This one is called a novella. This one is called a novel. The novel is 120 pages, and the novella is 91 pages, something like that. There's more per page to this, and this really was a great story, much of which I've forgotten, so I probably should be rereading it again. This book, I don't think I will ever forget, because it is so pared down and so stark in all of its story details. It's archetypal almost of what bullying is. Here it is. So this has been on my shelf for a while, and I hope to get to it soon. But I just thought that I would talk a little bit about Our Twisted Hero, which I do heartily recommend. I liked it better than the novel that I read prior, which is the story of one man's dissolute experience growing up as a wealthy ne'er-do-well who dissipates all the advantages he was given in life. So this is just a much more straightforward narrative, but told with introspection. I don't know if there is some autobiographical basis to this either, but I think when I talked about this, I said that the narrative style felt a little bit more restrained than Chu Miao-jin's letter from Montmartre, or Letters from Montmartre, which took this as something of a model. But I would say that even about this is more restrained and more carefully constructed than this. So a good book. It took me 4 days to read, but you could easily read it in 1 day, I think. So just a quick glance to tell you about this and give you my hearty recommendations. Thank you for stopping by my channel.